Make judgments like never before. Hi guys, I hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome to MazeEng with another amazing video for you. Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about modals of deduction. Words like must, may, might, and can't. You know, these words are going to help you make judgments more easily and express yourself, your ideas, your hunches in a more professional way. But first things first, I need you to imagine yourself in the shoes of an inspector or a detective like Sherlock Holmes, okay? And now your job is to go to the crime scene, look at the clues, think with yourself, and based on what you have seen or heard, arrive at conclusions and announce them publicly, okay? So for example, you may think that the man who has robbed this store might have had wide shoulders and big shoes. So you have definitely seen something at the crime scene, and then based on that evidence, you are trying to infer and arrive at a conclusion to announce it publicly, all right? And now, depending on how certain you might feel about your ideas, hunches, and guesses, your presumptions, you are going to use the words like must, can't, may, and might. Okay, now I think we had enough explanation on the matter, and now let's go for some more real-life examples of the topic. Okay, first word on the list, must. You actually use this modal of deduction whenever you are certain about something or you are 100% sure that something is true or it's very probable to happen. For example, you are at a wedding party and then you see a woman in a white gown. So you would think with yourself and say, oh my god, she must be the bride. In fact, based on the evidence, based on the white gown and the celebration, the party that you're at, you would conclude with yourself that, okay, this woman has to be the bride. There is no obligation for her to be the bride because you cannot go up to her and say, okay, you must be the bride. No, never. In fact, this is a conclusion that you have arrived at based on the evidence that you have already seen. Or let's imagine that you want to visit your friend and you are not sure if they are home or not. You go to the neighborhood and you see their car parked in front of the house. So you would think with yourself and say, they must be home because their car is parked right in front of the house. Okay, this is the evidence, and then based on this, you have arrived at the right conclusion that they are currently in their house. Once again, remember, there is no obligation. You cannot go up to people and say, oh, you must be John, you must be the bride, you must be the owner of this car. No obligation. You are just making fair judgments, presumptions, or arriving at conclusions based on the evidence. And on the other side of this spectrum is can't. You can use this modal verb whenever you're not sure about the possibility of something happening, or you're not sure if something is true or not. Let's imagine that you see your friend after a long time, and then you would say, oh, you cannot be John because you have gotten so old, because you look so old. And another example would be, she can't be the school principal because she's only 15, so she's not eligible. She's not at the right age to be the school principal. So the last two modals of deduction on the list are may and might. You might have already been familiar with their meaning and their function. But just to elaborate more on the topic, we would have to say we can use these two words whenever we're not totally sure or we're not totally certain about a piece of information being true or something that's going to happen. For example, I can say, Lily is so late. She might be stuck in traffic. Or we may have to cancel tomorrow's meeting because the boss is on a trip. Well, that's about it, and I hope this video would have been useful for you guys. There's just another quick tip that I need to mention here, and that is, you might have already heard about these modals of deduction. You might have studied them before again and again in different courses, classes, and through different videos, but maybe you're not using them effectively and practically in your speaking. What I want you to do to remember these words forever is to just take a notebook and try to write your example sentences with these modals of deduction. And this way, you have made them eternally rememberable in your head. And finally, I just wanted to thank you guys for all your support, likes, and subscriptions, because this is a huge energy and driving force for our channel in order to continue producing the best materials and best videos for your language learning. Thank you guys, and have a great time. Bye-bye.